Welcome back to the Glory Hunter. Thank you for joining me after the transfer window madness that was yesterday. We have some new players, some that we wanted, some that, well, I guess we want all of them, but some we weren't planning on getting. Of course, a long-term injury to our starting centre mid meant that we brought someone else in, and that someone else came in with him going the other way, which was lucky, not what we tried to engineer, but if they're going to offer me Kefren Thuram for £20-odd million and a 7-month injured player, I'd be stupid not to bite their hand off. We are, however, slightly tired as we head into today's episode. It's going to be a big one. We've Cadiz to sim, then Real Madrid, Liverpool and Barcelona in a triple header. Unbelievable. Then Getafe and Osasuna at the end of the month before we push into the next one. I'm probably going to simulate almost all of the Champions League group stage games. We're not going to play Liverpool again until much, much later on. Mainly because we've won the Champions League for the sake of the Glory Hunter. And, of course, we would very much like to win La Liga this year. And that's going to take preference. But for the sake of this one-off Real Madrid, Liverpool, Barcelona triple header, it would be silly of me not to include all three in this one. So we will sim against Cadiz. I don't know whether to take those starting players out or not because of their lack of stamina. What I might do is not do all of the changes, but I might just do this a little bit so that we get some higher rated players back in there, and then it should still be a pretty, hopefully anyway, at least be a pretty straightforward sim. I could even put Reguilon at at right back, and hopefully this sim will go well. Of course, we've got 3 games to sim and 3 games to play today, and because we're now in Europe, it is going to be a busier season as a result of that. But like I say, if you guys want to see me play the Champions League the way that we normally would, then I'm happy to do so. But I think it would make sense if we played the La Liga games and simmed the European ones, considering we have already won that competition with Manchester City. We're now, of course, aiming to do League and Cup domestic stuff now with Malaga this season. As ever, though, if you go on to enjoy today's episode, then please do drop the video a like. It really helps the channel and the content in general. And Banabe back in the starting lineup and on the score sheet gives us a great way to start. Some nice build-up play here. Reguilon forward, understandably turns onto that left. Good save by the keeper to deny Roberto, playing a little bit deeper. Roberto now on the score sheet again, and 82 rated. He's grown again this season, Roberto. I think he's still, unfortunately, registering as peaked, so he won't get any better than 82, I don't expect, for the rest of the season. But it's great to see him continue to improve. He was, what, 74 when we joined? 3-0! Alexander Isak gets his first goal for the club in a competitive tie. Right, okay. I'm happy to take Sule and Vitic off at half-time then, because this game is only ending one way. Castellanos came on at half-time, and it's taken him 4 minutes and 18 seconds to get on the score sheet. Didn't even come on at striker. Came on at centre-forward for Roberto. And we have 2 players, well, no, we have 3 strikers that are all vying for a spot in the starting lineup every week. But Roberto will get the nod continually in the domestic competition in the league. I'll probably give Castellanos the nod in the domestic competition in the cup as Isak scores again, and he will probably get the nod in the Champions League as it's the most prestigious competition, and he's obviously our highest rated striker. But we're the real deal this year. Finally, at Malaga, it's taken into our 3rd season with them, but this team now means serious business in La Liga. Not that we didn't last year, only 6 points off the title, but now we should be winning it. It'll be back-to-back clean sheets for Garrido, actually, after the 3-0 against Sociedad yesterday. Be nice to follow that up defensively with 2 good performances after the way that we threw away, probably. Well, certainly the 2-0 advantage we had in the first game we played yesterday. against Real Betis, ended up losing by 3-2 on that occasion. Bernabé transfer bid, 19.2 million plus a 77 rated 27-year-old right back. Aha! No. At the Estadio Bernabeu, Real Madrid don't have as strong a team as they did. They sold Fabio Vieira in the summer and haven't replaced him with anyone of any real note. So Courtois is continuing to decline, down at 88 now in goal. Mati Cash at right back, Salisu alongside Ruben Dias and Tomiyasu still at left back. Tchouaméni, Valverde and now Behrami in the middle, with Diaby, Vinicius and Lautaro Martinez continually the front three. Daniel Marlon, an ageing Nabil Fekir, Thierry Correa, Antonio Blanco, Brennan Johnson, new signing of course, and Malik Thiaw, the options they have outfield, and Samuel Suarez is the backup goalkeeper at 80 rated. So Real Madrid are continually getting weaker as we get stronger. We beat them last season and then drew with them as well in the league. They knocked us out of the Copa del Rey, annoyingly. But it's rather obvious that we are significantly a better side now than we were on any of those 3 occasions. Reguilon gets the start at left back ahead of Ben Chilwell, who will probably start in the Champions League game against Liverpool in just 3 days' time. And depending on what the situation is in this game, by the time we get to the hour mark or so, I might make some changes with that Liverpool game in mind, but I'm probably going to have to keep my best and strongest team out for the majority of this game to stand any chance of getting anything in it. Milan Cech turns well there, just showing some good dribbling too, and you can see that Reguilon has gotten forward here and will deliver the ball into the middle, but Ruben Dias, laddie Ruben Dias, is in the way again, looking for Elise. He's won it back off Dias, and fairly so. There's not much room here, but Elise's found some. Into the middle. Oh, missed by everyone. All Roberto needs to do is get any sort of contact on that whatsoever, and we're 1-0 up. Lautaro looking for the 1-2. Vitic with the strength. Clearance doesn't go great, but we do get it away. Lautaro's in again, and Tanganga this time across to deal with it. Look at that press from Tomiyasu. Jesus, the way he intercepted that was outrageous. Garrido drawn into the save by the effort from Lautaro Martinez. Diaby's going to take this short to Vinny. That hit Cech's hand, but they'll play on. That advantage gone and not able to be utilised. It's a bit unfair, actually. There was really no advantage there. Soule does really well. Now, can he beat Ruben Dias? Yes, he can. Finally, we've got someone that can rival Ruben Dias. But he can't finish. Oh, what a chance. The one time we beat the Portuguese centre-back and we don't score. Could be 2-0 up in this game. Valverde inside to Tchouaméni. And I opened that up there for a through ball with my positioning, but we're going to deal with it, he says. Yes, Vitic, well in. Challenge from Bulat as well. Fully committed. You love to see it. Soule has left Ruben Dias for dead once. He's not going to attempt to try and do it for a second time. We're just going to play the easy pass. And then, in attempting to play the second easy pass, balls it up. Courtois very nearly. Let that go over the line there. Could have been very risky. Well, it was very risky to dink it back to the goalkeeper in quite such a way. But Vinny looking to get away. He's beaten Vitic to it. Tomiyasu, right-footed, is always really going to turn inside. Vinny, you expect to do the same. It's a good initial attempted cross. Still, it falls back to Vinicius. And Garrido makes the save. 42nd minute. No goals yet here against Real Madrid. It's been our best defensive performance against them that we've ever put in so far. We want to keep that up for the entirety of the 90 if we can. Check. I mean, where's the advantage, ref? There it is. Thank you. Cash. Diaby. Back to Mati Cash and Diaby again. Well read by Reguilon. Feeling that Diaby would have been able to exploit that lack of pace for... oh, what a move this is. Milan Cech. His touch is heavy, but he is going to get there. Buried by the number 10. I had a feeling that Diaby would have exploited the lack of pace for Ben Chilwell. Reguilon has been, as ever, at that left-back spot. Milan Cech, his last goal was in a similar fashion, breaking from deep And with a heavy touch that he just beat the keeper to, and he's only, God, by a matter of millimetres, beaten Thibaut Courtois to that. That is a crunching blow between the two of them that undoubtedly, if it were real life, would have seen them probably both stay on the floor hurt. But Milanchek was racing away to go and celebrate his goal as we lead at the Bernabeu by 1-0 in the 53rd minute. Now Taro given away. Panteo, oh, here comes that press again. You can see it there immediately. That Real Madrid strike. That Real Madrid gegenpress on a heavy touch. Matty Cash going off for them now. And Brennan Johnson coming on. So surely that's a formation change for Real Madrid. They're not playing Brennan Johnson at right back, are they? My brain is telling me they had Devin Wrench at right back, but I'm not sure. I know Devin Wrench did move in the summer transfer window, but I can't recall who it was from or to. But it did catch my eye at the time. It's a good header by Brennan Johnson, but it's saved by Garrido. And we'll see if they've changed formation at all, Real Madrid. Which indeed they have. A 3-2 or 3-4-3, really, isn't it? With the Christmas tree formation. Lautaro, Bayrami and Brennan Johnson. With Vinicius and Diaby on the right and left, or left and right respectively. And then Diaz, Salisu and Tomiyasu, a more familiar centre-back position for him. Still going to be difficult to play against, rather obviously. But they might have some more space back here for us to try and exploit to look for a second goal. We have done that against Real Madrid before in this save with Malaga. It was what led to our 3-1 down to 4-3 up turnaround last season. Antea in there to check. Roberto getting a little bit lost. So much space. So much space. Soulé just pay no attention to them, do they? Kefren Turan makes it 2-0. The marking is well and truly non-existent. We're going to win at the Santiago Bernabeu. And look good doing it too. He might just have gone offside there, Castellanos. He wasn't. Play continues. But Real Madrid are going to lose this game. Oof. Whether they lose it to 0 remains to be seen. Garrido with a top stop. Brilliant ball through to Lautaro Martinez there. That was defence splitting their 6th corner of the game. We haven't had a single one. They hit the hand, so play will continue. Tanganga gets up really nicely there, and Elise brings that down. I think that hit Elise's hand, though, on its way down his chest. Indeed, it did. Fede Valverde will not shoot from here. Oh, is he? Yeah, he is. That was never going to go in, mate. Marlon bumped off it by Luke Mbete. Oh, it was Jafet Tanganga, sorry. I didn't make the substitution in the end. Bulat. Isak. Castellanos. 3-0. It is a weaker Real Madrid side than we played last year and the year before. But don't let that take away from the gravitas and enormity of this victory. This performance, this result, shows exactly why we are going to win trophies this season. And I am confident at this stage, probably more so than I should be, but confident at this stage that we will do the treble domestically this season. That's a 2-0 win against Real Madrid. Now with a trip to Anfield to come in the Champions League. To Anfield we come against a strong Liverpool side. But no stronger really than the team we just beat by 3-0. Alisson in goal. Trent Alessandro, not Lautaro, Martinez, Ibrahima Konate and Piero Hincapié. Fran Beltran is the weakest player in the lineup, with a 90 rated Moretti now and 91 Frenkie in midfield. Rodrigo, Scamacca and Diogo Jota as the front three. So a really good team. I don't know where they are in the Premier League, but it's a really good team. Fabian Ruiz could be called upon off the bench. Gio Reyna, Daniel Vivian. Not much depth. Neither did Real Madrid, to be fair. Couple of changes for me. Isak in, Castellanos in behind him, and then Chilwell at left back. 1-2 with Diogo Jota and Scamacca's in. The West Ham man. Not really with too much to look for. Garrido fumbles but recovers. Been impressed with Garrido so far. We've not had any instances to this point of him making any mistakes that we want to complain about, whether they be made by him or just because of the graphics, the gameplay engine. Thuram's finesse shots from distance, evidently not that spectacular, but 0-0 so far. That's a great ball. Rodrigo will have the pace to get to that too. It's like they're isolating Chilwell again, just like Betis did, because of that lack of pace. Nice turn by Elise. Does love to get forward though, Chile. Oh, it's gorgeous. Isak. 1-0 Malaga. What's the next step above the real deal? Because we are that. We're not just the real deal anymore. We are genuine challengers on maybe 3 fronts this season. Miretti. It's Rodrigo. Everything is coming through Rodrigo, isn't it? They're basically ignoring the left-hand side of the pitch. Diogo Jota's not had a touch yet, it feels. Fran Beltran. Watch Diogo Jota now score a goal. Oh, it'll be Frenkie de Jong. The former Barcelona man, captain here at Anfield this evening, leads by example from midfield, and it's 1-1. And it's been coming. They've been the better team. And Elise tries to find the ball through but can't. Chile, though, many a man in the middle to look for, one of which is Castellanos, who wins the header well. Hincapié hooks it away to try and keep the game alive for Liverpool and keep the scorelines level. Bula is Castellanos. Well, why not? Oh, that wasn't far away at all. I really thought that was ending up in the top corner, especially with Alisson flying towards it. Trent getting past Chile. Rodrigo backwards. Trent again. And Rodrigo. Still they isolate the England left back. Oh, no! No! And breathe. Bloody hell. And breathe. Corner for Liverpool. 64th minute. Jota's picked up an injury. Speaking of injuries, Nana C is back in first team training. So he will be involved moving forward. Probably from maybe the Osasuna game, the last game today. He'll be on the bench. And hopefully still able to have as much of an impact as he used to. Isak having a great impact. We lead by 2-1 at Anfield. For a second time, we take the advantage in the game. So we can intercept that Diogo Jota with some nice footwork. So much for being injured, eh, Diogo? Supposedly picked up a knock, they said. He's shaken that knock off and is now significantly impacting the game. Now Scamacca's gone down hurt. And they do have an injury that they need to deal with, but it's from their striker instead. He did land awkwardly. Oh, he landed square on that right knee. No wonder he's hurt and having to go off, presumably. Yeah, I'm not sure who it is that's coming on in his place. We'll find out in due course. Let's see what we can do in the last 15 minutes then. We shall try and keep ourselves in front if we can. From this corner, Liverpool might try and get themselves level, however. Rodrigo delivers. And Vitic clears. Oh, challenge. But is there space to get to that? No. Would have been in. Rodrigo looking for his teammate. Bulak can't get that out of his feet quickly enough. Fran Beltran. Lovely ball. Giovanni Reina it is. That's off the bench. For the now injured Scamacca. Draws the save out of the keeper. Reguilon. Isak actually drifted left here. Oh, and caught from behind. He might be lucky to stay on the pitch here, Rodrigo. The referee's going to come across and brandish a yellow card. That was strong from the Spaniard. Fabio Ruiz coming on for Liverpool as they try and get themselves that equalising goal, but it doesn't look like it's going to be forthcoming. They are putting a bit of a press on at the minute, but by doing so, it's leaving space. Reguilon to Bernabeu, stepped away from his man. Isak. Oh, who needs support when you can just hold off the defenders that well? Good save by Alisson to deny us a sealing third. Bulat will deliver the corner though, and Japhet Tanganga's up, and he'll get the game-sealing third. Cracking header off the underside of the bar. Whether it was keeper to bar and in, or even bar back to keeper's hand and in, I'm not sure. We'd have to see a replay, because it certainly dropped straight back down off the bar just over the line. But that's us getting 3 points here in the Champions League. And yeah, we are going to get a replay now. Did it hit the keeper's hand first? I think it might just be bar and in. Tanganga's header was superb. It was... No, it wasn't. Bar and off the back of Trent and in. And it has indeed gone down as such. A Trent Alexander-Arnold own goal, unfortunately for him. Not really much he could do about that, was there? A win for us. Boos from the Anfield crowd on the opening night in the Champions League, but they must have seen how good we've been in La Liga. They must know what this Malaga side is all about now. We're not, after our season last year, we're not an unknown dark horse. We're the horse leading the pack right now. We are top of the table here. Barcelona are on 2 points. I don't quite know what's happening, but after 4 games, Barcelona are bottom and Atletico Madrid are 18th. Read into that what you will. Real Madrid 12th as well. This save is creating one hell of a story right now. In La Liga, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid were off the pace last season. Are we seeing a new era 8 years in? I mean, it's incredibly unlikely in real life. It's practically impossible in real life. But maybe it's just a slow start for all 3 of them. We've seen what Real Madrid's side is like, and it is decent, but they're not getting results. Let's go and see what Barca's 11 looks like. Barcelona are not bad. 87 rated to Stegen, Ruben Sanchez, Nicolas Sula, Saliba, Maffeo, Kenneth Taylor, Chukwuemeka, new signing of course, 86 rated, and Lucas Paqueta, with Anthony, Alvarez and Fati as their front 3. I don't think that they'll stay bottom of the league for long, do you? Got some options on them. Again, not much in terms of depth. Gibbs, White and Scalvini, the only real 2 of any note there. But there's no way that 11 stays where it is in the league, is there really? Roberto, captain fantastic, leading my team out for this 3rd and final played game. We do, thank you. We do still have, of course, Osasuna and Getafe to come in the... Oh, that's not meant for you, but all right. In the Sims before we end today's episode, so there's still probably a bit of viewing left to do, and certainly some playing left to do. But Barcelona are going to have to sort out their passing, because my God... Oh, hello. Maybe I should not throw stones in glass houses, eh, Ches? If your passing is going to be just as bad, I can't really then have a go at Barcelona for being rubbish, can I? Chukwuemeka. Out to Ansu Fati, who's offside. Pantea to Bulat. Bulat to Sule. Challenge. Unfairly... Very unfairly, I think. Ruled by the referee as too physical and illegal. I think that was perfectly acceptable. Roberto, that 5-star weak foot, very nearly caught ter Stegen out there. He's 37 now ter Stegen. Still 87 rated, but... Oh, and still very good, evidently. But you imagine, not as good as he used to be. Bulat delivers another corner. We're going to win the header again, but Vitic can't get it on target. It's a nice ball into the channel, but Tanganga's got the legs to deal with it. There's some space. Jesus Christ! There was some space on the right-hand side. Bloody hell. For Matthias Sule. He's yet to get a goal, I don't think, Sule. Maybe even yet to get an assist as well. But his overall play is so good. He's Milan Czech. He's been scoring freely. He's not going to do so again here, though. Could maybe have played in Elise. Wasn't sure it'd get to him. Thought I'd be better off going for the shot. I was mistaken. Barca have been playing well, actually, though. Since their opening couple of misplaced passes, they've been pinging the ball about really nicely. Thankfully, they're still not at 100% pass accuracy, though. I'm needing them to make mistakes like that, because at the minute, when they're in possession, I can't get near them. Lovely ball down the line to Elise. Check in the middle. Roberto on the edge of the box. Oh, I don't think I put that much power on it, but Pantea finds Matthias Sule, whose shot is poor. Anthony quickly inside to Paqueta. Oh, that's brilliantly done. Tell you what, Garrido's been making a difference at the back, though. Edouard Mendy wasn't bad. He genuinely wasn't bad. He made a couple of mistakes every now and again, but overall, Edouard Mendy wasn't bad. He kept 5 clean sheets in 38 games, which just wasn't good enough for us to challenge for the La Liga title. Garrido, I have instantaneously, since match day 1, even though we conceded 3, so much faith in the goalkeeper. He's just genuinely good. And sometimes just being rock solid and good is all you need. You don't need that extra little bit of world class about you. You just need to be a regularly high, consistent performer, or high level, consistent performer. Maybe that does make you world class, but he doesn't have any magic about him as a keeper. It's just good. Oh, it was the pass from the defender, not the shot from Sule, that led to the ball going back to Ter Stegen. We nearly had them on the back foot there and behind before half-time. Oh, and we will do if they keep making mistakes like that. Again, the poor passing comes to affect Barcelona. Kefren Turam's in the middle. Kefren Turam looking to be found. Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Wily old fox at 37. He can read play, can't he? Reguilon, that's where the extra pace comes in handy. If that was Chilwell, I dare say we'd have been on the back foot there and they'd have been in behind. But Reguilon, with that extra little bit in the legs, is able to cut out balls like that. And that's why, even though he's slightly lower rated, he's just going to start continually. Check into Roberto. Saliba's there, but at least they could nod this back to Check again. Oh, and it nearly beat Ter Stegen. On a couple of occasions, it's nearly gotten past him. He's diving backwards late and doing well enough to get there. Vitic! Again, diving behind him, Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, to keep the ball out. Pressure building on the Barcelona goal. Thuram could be up for this again. It's going to fall! I don't know how Roberto's not scored. I genuinely don't know how he's not scored. On 2 occasions. How the hell are we not 1-0 up in this game? Elise, sharp turn. Excellent football. Oh, it's going to fall free, but Reguilon's there. Roberto's dropped deep this time. Let's just get it out wide. Let's just reset and go again. Oh, space there for Bula. If I could find him around the corner, which I couldn't. Paqueta trying to counter here for Barcelona now with 20 minutes to go. We do look set for a 0-0 here, despite so much goalmouth action. I can't quite believe there hasn't been a goal so far. If we score, we win. It's as simple as that. That hit hand. Oh, I should have taken the advantage. I should have taken the advantage in the free kick. It's a 0-0 draw against Barcelona. With the bar hit, keepers making good saves throughout the game. Garrido, Ter Stegen. It was a goalkeeping masterclass. They only had 2 efforts, Barcelona, to our 11. And how we haven't scored. Only you guys will be able to tell me. So annoyed that I was trying to change player when it came across with Roberto. Otherwise, surely he just tucks that home. It's just unlucky. We were determined to try and get the win, but unfortunately, determination alone on this occasion wasn't enough. We do need to be clinical. There aren't many occasions where you can have 11 shots and not score and still get a positive-ish result, especially against a side as good as Barcelona. I'm glad Roberto's happy, though. We were top, we stay top, but only on, well, the minute goal difference, because we haven't played Valencia or Getafe until now. We have Getafe next, so this is actually first versus second in La Liga. So, rather evidently, we want to win this one. Chilwell, of course, in for the simulated game. But I will certainly be playing with Reguilon consistently moving forward. Mistake from the goalkeeper. Roberto pounces. He can score. And he will score given that chance. And that was, well, what seemed like handed to him on a plate. Don't know what happened with the goalkeeper. Don't know what's happened with my right back. It's 1-1. Pantea, that's the first mistake you've made practically in 2.5 years, mate. Jonathan David levels it up for Getafe. As there's a blunder at one end, there's a blunder at the other. It is our priority La Liga this season and the Copa del Rey. And so far, things are going well. We're top of the table. Whether we stay there or not depends on what happens in the rest of this game. And in this game now, we are behind. It would be late, but oh boy, would it be great. It's not going to happen. Defeat for the first time this season happens at home against Getafe, who will, rather obviously, go top of the table in our place. We'll sim past the Wednesday to see what else is happening in the rest of the league, and that sees us drop to fifth. Atletico have recovered from 18th, as they were earlier on in the episode, and they're up to 6th now. Such is the close nature in the rest of the league. Barcelona get their first victory of the season as well on match day 6 and are up to 13th. And Real Madrid are up to 10th. The big side's recovering. We're only 3 points off top, but crucially for the time being at least, that does mean that Getafe have the upper edge on us with head-to-head results. But you can imagine that Getafe won't be there for the full season, so we won't need to worry about that longer term. Let's go and get a win in the next one, and then I'm much happier. Osasuna have a good team. Kim Min-jae at the back is decent. Javi Martinez in midfield is decent. Boadu up top, pretty damned good. This is not going to be a straightforward game. They did have, well, Ravella is, 86 rated, I think, in this save right now, maybe 87. So they've got quality, Osasuna. They've got 6 points so far this season, so they're about where Barcelona are in the league, which is solidly mid-table. It's another winnable game, though, of course. Every game is a winnable game this year for us. So to have lost against Betis in the manner we did was annoying. And to have lost against Getafe in the manner we did, also annoying. The 2 defeats we've had this season have come from winning positions. No shots at all in the first half of this game. Time to start turning up, please, gentlemen. It's nice as well. Elise beats his man. Then has to beat the same man again as the defender recovered. Half an hour to play here. It might be Alexander Isak time. As much as I love Roberto, as much as we know that he can do the business, is a higher rated player going to make the difference here? So I'm starting to... Oh, we're 1-0 down, Myron Boadu. I'm starting to question my higher rated players now. It seems like as Roberto's gotten higher rated, he has less of an impact, which is weird. I really want I really want Nana C back sooner rather than later as well to make an impact off the bench. It is a shame that we lost Pellistri. It does give us less options to try and change the game from the bench, but the 11 should get the job done on almost every single day. But it looks like we might be about to lose back-to-back games in La Liga here. Unless we can come up with something now, which we can't. Well, we can beat Real Madrid, but we can't beat Osasuna or Getafe, apparently. And this is why I'm moving forward, going to simulate the Champions League games and play the Copa del Rey and the La Liga ones. Because despite the strength of our team, you can't guarantee they're going to get the results that you want and or need on any given match day. So those back-to-back defeats will see us tumble in the league table, I would imagine. Probably not too far down, but far enough to be of a little bit of concern. 7th. Getafe win again, and they're on 16 now at the top of the table. It's still very early days, but certainly we will then be simulating the game against Galatasaray and Steaua Bucharest. So we'll play Villarreal, we'll play Sevilla, we'll play Valencia, and sim the away game against Espanyol. But we'll have more of a say on our La Liga campaign. Right, that'll do for today. I mean, overall, it appears like a bit of a negative episode. But to beat Real Madrid and beat Liverpool, and very nearly beat Barcelona, I have to be pleased, knowing that we're not going to be simming games like the 2 that we simmed again here that often. I'm happy enough. We're confident that we can win the double this year. So let's turn those back-to-back defeats into a string of dubs, starting with Galatasaray tomorrow. I'll see you then.